Hey y'all, welcome back to the Pink Envelope. It's time to show off fall. I spent the weekend decorating and tweaking because you guys know how I do it. I like to set it all up, live in this space a little bit, and make tweaks based on the things that are bothering me and the things I love. Something I recommend all of you do. That initial design rarely is a perfect design. You have to kind of live in it a little bit to make it perfect. I have a few different spaces I want to show you. Obviously, oh geez, you can tell by looking over my shoulder, we've made some changes. So let's go decorate for fall. Let's start in my entryway / dining space. Yes, my dining room table is still somewhat in the entry of my home. I am loving having my Pink Envelope office. We're in the dining room space, and we are one of those families who rarely eats at our dining room table. I'm sure I'm not alone in this. So I have just moved it out in between like the front door that's over here and the living room that's over here. So when you walk into a beautiful tablescape. However, behind me is the entryway, which you've seen me decorate a million times over. And so I figured we'd kind of do a 2-in-1 for this. So on the dining room table here, very simple, going for that gemstone coloring and things. I have always been a more is more girl, and I'm a big fan of more is more. However, I was just feeling a little bit more simplistic. Now for me, the designs I'm about to show you are so simple. My husband, who adores simplicity, says they're still a bit complex. This is kind of a meeting in the middle for us. I believe majority of the items you're seeing here on the tablescape are from Simply Hosted. I'm not sure what they're up to. I will drop a link for Simply Hosted below if you want to check them out. But they are a hostess subscription box where they send you things for your tablescape items so that you can host others. Adorable, adorable subscription. I also do have them on the subscription box directory if you want to bounce over. The items are not from this season. I don't even know if they've released fall yet. These are from the past couple of seasons. The chargers, the pumpkins with the note cards, the grateful sign, the green napkins, all just very simple and easy. And with these pumpkins, I found the like item on Amazon. So any of the items that I have found on Amazon, I have linked them on my Amazon storefront. So if you want to shop individual items without having to sign up for a full subscription box, you can do that as well. That is also linked below. So you guys can kind of scroll through. And then the centerpiece here is from 3rd in Main, another home decor subscription box that I have linked below if you want to check them out. And do y'all guys remember these chairs? These chairs are the chairs that I found on the side of the road, remember? And recovered. I actually filmed a how-to. Granted, it was like the first time I've ever done it, so please be gracious with that video. But I showed you exactly how I recovered these for pennies on the dollar. I'll link that below. Well, look at this. We've been here like a hot 5 seconds on how many links have we dropped. The irony in that is when I was getting ready to film this, I told my husband, I don't feel like I have a lot of information to share, but maybe there's a little bit more than I realized. So very simple, very easy tablescape. You can pick these items up and play a family game. Nothing too complex that you're committed to like this over-the-top design. And everything here is very usable. Back here on this entryway, I'm ready to replace this art piece. I'm so sick of it, but I haven't found the perfect one. So if I do, we'll put a little addendum in here. But I went out like I normally do and chopped some branches. You guys, I highly recommend chopping tree branches. Not like, don't think like a red oak tree, although red oak leaves are gorgeous. Think of little smaller trees that you like the shape of the leaves. Go out there and cut them off and put them in a vase. That's exactly what we did here. Some of them you can get with more like fall-esque colors. Here in Texas right now, we do not have any trees that have fall color. So I had to just go with a fun leaf shape. So I put those in the vase there, threw out some like cozy textured things that like when you see them, you think, oh, I just want to nestle up inside them. That's what I'm going for in the textures I'm putting throughout. And then once again, some of those same gemstone colors that you saw here on the table, I'm using up here. Now they're not the same colors, but they fall into the same family with these beautiful purples and these beautiful oranges. I have them reiterated in the pumpkins and the candlestick and the wreath back to the pumpkins across the table. Very much still colorful and true to loving color without walking in and it feeling, I don't know, rainbow-esque, so to speak. The gemstone tones, ooh, I'm gonna be doing that today. Just started upticking a trend last year and I'm 100% here for it. But I feel like these pieces speak fall without saying fall. Well, I mean, Some of them literally say fall, but the majority of them just tell you the idea of this season through the color and texture more than literal words. Remember the Hello Fall sign from Hobby Lobby that we've had for 10 plus years? It's still rocking. And then another section of my home that I just love is the hat wall. I have been wanting to make a hat wall for years, and it wasn't until we got this mirror that it all came together for me. And so these are just vintage hats I've picked up at different like resale antique stores. They're all kind of random. I think one of them, this one, is actually a hat I wear that I will grab for heading out to the beach. The rest are decor. But this is just a fun space. I like to have those spaces that are there for nothing more than decor. This table is a table I have used several times. You guys have seen it under my TV. You've seen it in the hallway. You've seen it as a sofa back. I do like to grab pieces that are very universal and that can move and flow with the space, and that's exactly what this space is. And then I've just created little nooks of fall, little nooks of beautiful decor, like the set of pumpkins with the family photo, the autumn sign with the pine cones, and this globe is definitely something I recommend grabbing. I have it linked on the Amazon. You can make this work for every single season. You can fill it with little candy hearts. You can fill it with, we've done like little, make a snow globe effect. Put little tchotchkes of all different types, but based on a theme. Christmas, Halloween, and just fill it up. In this case, we just went and got pine cones from outside. You can use those for just about anything. And then as you go down the layers on the shelves of this unit, you can see that I've got fall leaves and acorns that we gathered from outside. This set of 3 houses, I've liked a linked item on Amazon. I've liked a linked item. I've linked a like item on Amazon for these houses. These are probably 6 or 7 years old from the Just Deco box. And then the picture frame, you know, the picture frame we've been discussing from FabFitFun since summer. Yeah, still haven't put the picture into the frame. Moving on, this is actually a wreath that goes on the wall that I got from Evergreen Lane. I do have a like one linked on Amazon. All dried elements and so beautiful. So I use it as a ring, as you see here, but you could also hang it on the wall. So this whole space is full of pieces that are little sets that coordinate together as a whole, but stand alone beautifully. And I like to show them to you in sets of 3 or 4. So if you do not have a big table like this, you have a smaller table, a side table, a nook. You can take inspiration from just one of these looks and implement it, or use it as a whole. Today, English and I are clearly struggling. I will tell you though, I feel like one of the biggest elements to immersing your space in fall is your scents. And there's a bunch of ways to go about it. So Canyon Hollow, their fall box has sold out at the time I'm posting this, but they have beautiful home decor, both monthly and quarterly options. I'll link them below if you want to go check them out. Sent over a reed diffuser in their last box. I pulled that reed diffuser out during that unboxing, put it on my desk, and I barely made it maybe 3 days before I started decorating for fall. The smell of fall was overwhelming. My whole family agreed. It was a very motivating scent. Any of these candles, just be careful that you're not buying candles that are cheap and therefore are made with bad stuff. When you're lighting candles, diffusers throughout your home, that means all day, every day, you, your family, your pets are breathing that, and we're finding out more and more over time how dangerous that is. So please take some time to invest in a good candle, not an expensive candle. Expensive does not equal good. Read the ingredients. Get a good candle and a good candle warmer. We found an excellent one on Temu. I'll see if it's still there. If it's not, I'll link a like one on Amazon, because you can burn your candle all the way down, then turn around and put this on the candle warmer, giving your candle double the life. I highly recommend it. So invest in scents. Also, Pura is a great option. We love Pura. I'm gonna link up here my Pura unboxing video so you can check it out. But it's a great way to unify a scent throughout your home, all fully automated with an app on your phone. And then for this space, I've been most excited to show you my fireplace, which, by the way, OGs, you know this, I redid again. I love to redo this space. So these doors over here that I've been telling y'all for roughly 3, 4, maybe even 5 years I'm gonna replace them. We replaced them. They were the original doors on the house and they were so leaky, like you could walk by and feel heat or cool air pouring in. And so we got new doors put in, but they were a slightly different size, which means we had to remove all of the paneling from this wall. So then Jonathan sheetrocked it for me and we painted it creamy, which is what's throughout the house. And I told him I wanted to paint the brick a new color. So we painted it down home from Sherwin-Williams, a beautiful brown. I want to bring in more of these brown tones during this season of life. And it was just so perfect because we did it right before fall, giving it an ultra fall feel. So all of the items like these here have come from various home decor subscription boxes, which unfortunately, majority of them are gone. The only two that I know that are functioning, doing fantastic, and still sending beautiful items are Canyon Hollow, which I've already linked below, and 3rd and Main, which I've already linked below. You can go check them out. Otherwise, Amazon's gonna be our friend for a little bit. You can also find very similar items at Target and at home. I feel like Hobby Lobby and Michael's have kind of fallen off the bandwagon as far as being trendy and up to date. They're great for DIY crafting, but just point blank going in and buying stuff, at least in my local area, I haven't been finding a lot of strong, outside of maybe some florals, home decor there. And then Joann's. We don't have Joann's anymore. It's so weird. Anywho, this is a wreath I've had around 20 years and I just keep adding little refreshes to it. And so it's been indoors, it's been outdoors. One of the nice things about investing in a high quality piece is you can use it for literally forever. And that's exactly what we have there. But I wanted to bring in, and this may tweak some. I had this here and then I removed it. So we can vote. Do we like it with the florals? Jonathan said no. Or do we like it without the florals? This is what he enjoys here. So do a little vote down below and tell me with florals or without florals. For the sake of making sure it's fair, I'm gonna leave those out so you can keep looking at it. The second thing I need your advice on is the inside of the fireplace. So I feel like the whole inside should be black. So I'll take out all of this, scrub it down, repaint the bottom, and repaint this black, the walls. So it's black on the inside with the brown. Do you agree? Disagree? Give me your thoughts below. We do use a high heat paint when we paint in there, so we'll use all the right supplies. It's just more aesthetically, I'm not quite sure. And so I've figured rather than sit here and try to stress it and paint it over and over, I would just reach out to you guys and y'all could set me straight. But as always, all the cozy blankets, I have the blankets linked, I have the basket linked, I have weeds linked. They're all on Amazon if you want to create like this little station. This guy actually can hold 5 blankets easily. So if you're looking at this basket, I've gotten 5 in there. But the flameless candles that I have linked do really well in here. You can also get it with the remote so you can easily turn it on and off, or with the timer so that they auto do it. I love candles as we discussed earlier, but I like them in very specific locations and more for scent. I just am over the lighting the candle for aesthetic. I have kids and pets, so I'm not in the right stage of life for that. So those electronic candles with the batteries are fantastic. And just over here, we have another nook. We call it the reading nook. It's just a cozy blanket, a pillow you can set in your lap, and then another basket of blankets. We use a whole lot of blankets in this season. And in Texas, we don't have it very cool for long. So as long as it is cool, we try to use and optimize cozying up. And then another thing I'm doing a lot of is trays. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 6 trays throughout the entryway, living room, and kitchen. And I kind of styled them all across the dining room table, build them all out, and then disperse them. So this one I have sitting on the coffee table in between the couches and the TV. It has a candle, of course, a spot to throw all of our remotes, and just some fun fall decor. And you can piece these out. These are so simple. Typically a candle of some sort, a floral piece of some sort, and then everything else is just bonus. You can put whatever and this applies to every season. I already showed you for 4th of July, when we did that decorate with me, how many of the trays I did. I'm gonna show you some for Halloween as well. Well, I really want to do a Halloween decorate with me, but we're gonna be doing a little bit of traveling. Not fully sure if I'm gonna get it off, so I don't wanna promise that yet. But if we do, totally gonna show you trays. And if you have kiddos or you yourself are a kiddo at heart, I have a lot of these guys linked on the Amazon. I got these last year. Highly recommend. I don't know what the material is. Super soft, and you can get them in different shapes, and they make a great pillow, great decor. They're just kind of in general fun if you're in that stage of life. And really quickly, I wanted to show you a couple more of the trays. So this is one of the trays that goes over in this back corner. I have some cutting boards that sit behind it and kind of creates a display. Once again, I've got my florals, my candle, like 2 anchor pieces to easily build from. This time I added a pumpkin-y fall inspired cloth and one of these double signs. It looks like this, but come October, I'm gonna flip it like this, and it makes it very easy to decorate. So this guy here, and just on a round cutting board, charcuterie type display. If you got that last FabFitFun fall box, that first charcuterie board would be perfect for making one of these. And then this one here actually just goes a little bit forward here in the kitchen on the island. Floral, candle, and a piece. And I do have a bunch of little bitty pine cones. Last time I was in Oregon, I walked around and filled up so many HEB bags with all the beautiful pine cones, and I literally shoved my clothes into like a trash bag and carried it on the flight and checked my luggage full of beautiful pine cones and leaves from that area. And I have those, oh goodness gracious, sorry. I have those sprinkled throughout there. I love natural elements. I love to buy things from stores, obviously, but like the branches we cut earlier, the pine cones, you're gonna see a lot of those. Fall leaves from my red oak tree. Anytime I can grab an element from outdoors and bring it in, I do. Can I have a mommy brag moment for just a moment? My middle schooler, my oldest middle schooler, made me these gluten-free muffins for the week. A mix of blueberry and chocolate chip, some of them with a crumble on top, and they are so good. I don't know how many of you have middle school girls. They're super fun. And we're in the throes of figuring out what that looks like. So moments like these mean the world to me, because to be real honest, it's not very often I get to eat breads because I have so many gluten and fructose type restrictions in my diet. So the fact that she took her weekend and made these for me means the world. So I just had to have a little mommy brag moment. And this might be the first time I've filmed in this space since the remodel. So throwback, like back in the day, this was the dining room or the breakfast nook, probably more of the breakfast nook. And I had a round table here. So I had about 5 kitchen cabinets total in my kitchen, which is right there. We took this space out and made it an extension of the kitchen. And it has been the best decision ever. So I haven't actually filmed in here since we built all of this out brand new, ripped out this wall. Everything about you're looking at here is brand new. But now I have a nook here to decorate with. You can see a little bit over here, my chicken area with all my fun chicken things. And then above that here are those shelves I show you quite often. I had 2 shelves installed between 2 cabinets, and I wanted to put cabinets straight across because we needed storage so much. But I wanted the eye to rest, and I wanted another space to decorate. And so I created this space here. And in this space here, I can add whatever type of decor I want. Sometimes it's very traditional home decor, and sometimes it's practical use home decor. So sometimes the cake plate stands up there. Right now you can see the pumpkin pie plate is up there, plus some books that I just love. A couple of those are actually signed editions, which is really, really cool. And then just some more beautiful, very aesthetic fall home decor. And so this space is such a beautiful extension from the kitchen, where like the refrigerator's right here, and it kind of splits the two spaces up where somebody can actually be at the stove and cooking in that space while another group can be prepping over here, because there's knives and silverware in the microwave and the refrigerator is centrally located. It took a lot of finagling because I didn't want to move massive things like move walls and stuff. Wanted to leave plumbing where it was to make this not only a beautiful like expansion, like truly get more storage out of it, but without spending big bucks. Full candor, I wanted a sink here So bad, so bad. However, the cost to put in a sink here doubled what I spent on the project, if that kind of gives you any inclination as to how cheap I was able to do it. I also like to take little knickknacks and sprinkle them throughout. So in my mud laundry room, there's fall blooms, there's fun kitschy little signs, there's even a couple of gnomes, I know. In the guest bathroom, obviously swapping all of my scents over to that fall color, but adding fall, like a single stem. Don't want to make it overwhelming, but I do like as you travel through the spaces that you get the same reiteration of the color, the tones, the scent, and the coziness. I would say for me, coziness is a big theme for fall. We're coming out of the 100+ degree weather here in Texas. I guess I'm saying that a little preemptively. It's probably going to be over 100 today, but we're wishing our way into that. And so to embrace those cozy elements is very, very exciting. And I'm hoping I did this video a little bit differently, trying to show you little sections and little nooks, because all of our houses are so very different. And I want you to be able to take inspiration from one area in a small area and put it into yours. Because when I feel like I show these massive, it's like, okay, well, my space doesn't look like that. How do I get that look? I want you to be able to steal little pieces is the word that keeps coming to mind. Little nooks, I think is the best word, of inspiration, little sets of decor, like the trays, the concept behind the trays that you can implement in your space, big or small. I'm officially filming this on the 25th. So I like to have fall out by the 1st of September. So then we'll do the whole month of September, full on fall. Then October 1st, we swap to full on Halloween. Last year, if you guys remember, I went back to fall and kept fall through all of November. And then I decorated for December, Christmas on December 1st. Full candor, I didn't like it. I wanted to be true to the month, the season, and the holiday. And that was like my intention last year. It ended up being too much work. I was exhausted running around trying to swap every 30 days all of this decor. And as you guys know, I'm a clean freak. So I clean top to bottom every single time I decorate. And I didn't feel like Christmas got to stay up long enough, and I freaking love Christmas. So I was like, okay, this year I'm changing up my plan. I'm gonna decorate early into August. So by mid-August, I want my fall up. And I wanna enjoy it all the way till October 1st, where I am gonna swap to Halloween. It's kind of a Falloween. Yeah, I think it's Falloween, because I don't take down all of my fall. And that stays up till November. Then it's gonna be a Fallmas. It's gonna be half fall, half Christmas, 1/4 fall, or 3/4 Christmas. And then in December, we'll go full on Christmas. And we typically stay there until about mid-January, where we swap to Valentine's. And then we go through Valentine's Day. We take everything down and we do a breather. Really and truly, there's no decor in the house. And we kind of, for about a month of it being just very clean slate, clean palette. Sometimes this is completely empty. And then we put out usually yellows and lemons and all of that. So I really do have a pattern that I love to decorate in. I didn't do that last year, and you might see just a little bit different cadence this year while I'm trying to figure out what incurs the least amount of work and the most amount of fun. Okay, you guys, if you have any questions, put them below. I've tried really, really hard to go through Amazon and find the exact item or a like item. So if you found something you love, you could easily one-click over and shop over there. But if you have questions, please let me know. Down below, I've tried to link all of the things we've talked about so it's easy for you guys to sort through. I have not been doing a good job of keeping up with my blog post. I'm so sorry. But we do have some past blog posts if you are more of a photo type person that you can go through on the pinkenvelope.com. The directory, however, though, is pretty up to date, and it's got some stellar coupons on there if you want to go check out some of these subscription boxes I've been talking about, like Third and Main and Canyon Hollow, and a Vela box is the candle subscription I love. There's a lot of them over there, and you can sort by price and budget and things to kind of help you narrow in what's the best match for you. I hope that you have a happy, happy fall, and if at any point during this video you hit subscribe, that means I'm going to see you later. Bye, y'all.